mean that all chickens are right-legged and the right leg works harder and that's why it's not as tender? I don't know, but that's a fact. How about this? The parents of Albert Einstein were worried that he was mentally slow because it took him a long time to learn how to speak. That's the first time I've ever heard that. That's kind of interesting, I think. Don't you? Oh, yeah, I think so. How about this? Did you know that ducks will only lay eggs early in the morning? They want the afternoon off to go play golf, I guess. I don't know, or fly around. Flying from London to New York by Concorde, due to the time zones crossed, you can arrive 2 hours before you leave. That is, if the Concorde were still flying. But that's kind of interesting, right? Did you know that 4 tablespoons of ketchup have about the same amount of nutrition as a ripe tomato? Well, do you eat tomatoes because of the nutrition? I don't think. I mean, they are good for you, but I don't think that's why we eat them, right? How about this? Did you know that Mary Stuart became Queen of Scotland when she was only 6 days old? Wow. Wonder what kind of law she made then. How about this? Sheep is the longest one-syllable word in the English language. And did you know this? You know what? I actually did that already. I'm not going to do it again. When Scott Paper Company first started manufacturing toilet paper, they did not put their name on the product because of embarrassment. They got over that. Money can solve a lot of embarrassment. Did you know that the octopus testicles are located in its head? Now, see, you thought I was messing it up, right? You thought I should have said tentacles. No, testicles. The octopus's testicles are located in its head. We talk about a head job. Oh, I better not go there. Did you know the average bra is designed to last only 180 days of use? I didn't know that. I'll bet you most women don't know that. How about this? Did you know the human jaw muscles can generate a force of 200 pounds on the molars? Wow. So when you go crush a peanut or a walnut, you got some power going there. Did you know that Galileo became totally blind shortly before his death? I don't even know why that's important. Interesting, but, Here's one for you. Bulls don't really get angry when they see the color red. It's really movement that makes them charge, not the color. And in Nepal, cow dung, for lack of a better term, is used for medicinal purposes. And there's a mud pack for you. And finally, kangaroos cannot walk backwards. Give that some thought. See where you go. Now, don't go away, because when we come back, I'm going to deal with your emails. And the first email I'm dealing with is a stamp collection basis. We're talking about how do you figure out the value of each of these stamps when you receive these stamps as a gift. I'll talk all about it right after these brief messages. If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the Street at the intersection of business and politics, where at 5:52 p.m. Pacific Time, it's still 81 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, you know what? We're coming down to the wire. It's time for our emails. I want to remind you that this is an entertainment section of the show. I do give you good, comprehensive answers to your emails, but you know, the answers you get are dependent upon the data you give me, and a lot of times your emails are a little sketchy. So, you know, I always want to encourage you to go to a licensed professional before you actually take any action based on what your needs are. They're always going to save you more money than they cost you, and you won't have to be looking over your shoulder, worried about somebody knocking on the door or sending you a registered letter, anything like that. And they've got errors and omissions insurance. They're liable for the information they give you, the counsel they give you, and you can sleep at night and not have to worry about these things. Now, having said that, my first email today comes from Caitlin Dennis, and Caitlin's writing me from Chesapeake, Virginia, asking about a stamp collection basis, and says, I inherited a valuable stamp collection from a relative who had inherited it years earlier from another relative. If I sell it or part of it, how do I calculate my gain? I have no possible way of finding out how much the stamps cost the original collector. You know, a good question, Caitlin, but here's the thing. You don't need to know how much the stamps originally cost to calculate the gain on their sale. When you inherited them, they received what's known as a stepped-up basis. Their cost for tax purposes became their value on that date or on the alternate valuation date, which would be 6 months later if that's what you elected to do. Now, generally, gain or loss on a future sale will be determined from that amount. There are exceptions to this rule. Be sure that you have a solid appraisal of the collection's value as of the date that you actually inherited it, and keep it in your permanent records. If you think that you're going to sell off separate items of the collection, get separate appraisals of those items of the inheritance as of the inheritance date, so that you can not have any problems. That'll take care of your issue. And you know what? You can always go back. That information, even if you haven't done it, you can always go back, and pneumatists or those people that are specialists in stamps can get that information for you as of those dates. Next email comes from Hannah Elkbeer from Lincoln, Nebraska, asking about medical expense deductions, and says, I'm a divorced parent with the custody of my children, although my husband claims the dependency exemption for them under the terms of our divorce. If I pay medical costs for the children, may I take medical deduction for them, even though the children aren't my dependents? Well, Hannah, the answer to your question is yes, you may. Not everyone realizes this, because the general rule that one can take medical deductions only for costs paid on behalf of dependents did at one time apply to divorced parents too. But this has been changed. Today, if either parent claims a child as a dependent, a parent who pays medical costs on behalf of the child can claim a medical expense deduction for those costs. So kind of keep it in mind. But remember, you have to itemize to get that deduction. Let's see here. My next email comes from Juan Pablo Estrada. He's writing me from Riverside, California, asking about an IRA conversion. And he says, my fiance has an IRA that she wants to convert to a Roth. But after we marry, our joint income will be more than the $100,000 limit for doing so. Can we get around this by making the conversion before our wedding day later this year? Well, Juan Pablo, unfortunately, the answer to your question is no. I'm sorry. Marital status for the entire year is determined by the status at year end, and a conversion isn't possible for those filing a joint return with over that $100,000. It's also not possible to escape the income limit by filing a separate return, since separate filers are not eligible to make the conversion. Now, to be eligible to make the conversion this year, you'll have to find some way to reduce your joint income to under that $100,000 limit for the year, or just remain unmarried at the end of the year and just wait until January the 1st of next year, and then you'll be able to do it. Okay, next email comes from Notion I guess it's Farthin. And Notion's writing me from Kansas City, Missouri, asking about a home sale exclusion. And writes, I know that one must have used a home as a primary residence for 2 of the prior 5 years to take a tax-free gain on its sale. But is the date of the sale included in the 2 years? That is, can I rent my home out for 3 years before selling it? Well, you know what? Here's the good news, and the answer is yes. As long as you still meet the 2 of 5 year residency test, you can sell your home for a tax-free gain of up to $250,000 or $500,000 if it's a joint return, less any depreciation taken during that rental period, even after having converted it to a for-profit rental. So hopefully, Ocean, that answers your question, and it takes care of the whole 9 yards for you. Those are good questions today, and I want to encourage you to continue sending me emails, sending me your questions. Send them right to my email at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. That's where I get all the emails that I deal with here on the show. And you know what? And I'm thrilled to get them, and I'm thrilled to answer them for you. But just keep in mind that it is an entertainment section of the show. I'm giving you good quality information, good quality counsel. I'm answering your questions. But you know what? You always want to go to that professional who's going to interview you, gather all the pertinent data to give you a precise, concise, thorough answer to your questions. Now, I want to thank you for listening to Robert Cardoza Live at the intersection of business and politics. Robert Cardoza Live broadcasts on Spreaker Radio, Blog Talk Radio, MyCast Live Radio, and countless terrestrial stations worldwide, every single Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I also broadcast on Roar 1776 Radio every Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com and email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. Now, tomorrow, my expert contributor is going to be David Garrett on the law. My special guest will be Sean LaFave with his series, Geared for Wellness. I encourage you to tell all of your friends about my show. That's our show for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza. Producing it for you. Don't forget to come and join me again tomorrow for another installment of Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. In the meantime, stay home, stay healthy, be good, stay safe, and good night, everybody. I kind of tripped over my tongue on that one.